Brown on Cleveland. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Self, Little Kimmy, and your host, Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. Yeah, come inside the hut. Ooh, shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms. Damn it, shake your pom poms. Friday evening, of course, is 10:02. You know what you got to do. I always come on 2 minutes late because I like for my haters to get settled. And I know they're on the phone talking to one another because that's what stupid people do. They have stupid conversations. So I want to make sure they can have another stupid conversation today. And of course, my name is Kimberly F. Brown, the Brown on Cleveland. Again, welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. And before we get started, as always, I got to shake my pom poms for Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty. Again, if you're looking for a single home, duplex, commercial property, new development, reach out to Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty at 216 375 3681. If you're looking for, like this, a Brown on Cleveland t-shirt, contact my girl, Angie Marie, over at New Beginnings 1111 Creations. Now, she's only located in Maple Heights, very close, very close. She does fantabulous work. So if you're looking for shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, mugs, team uniforms, call Angie Marie right now at 216 375 3681. Nope, wrong number. That's 216 395 7335. That's 216 395 7335. Don't forget that if you're looking for some of the best soul food on the planet, call or stop by Flavor Southern Cuisine Restaurant in Garfield Heights. It's located at 12540 Rockside Road, Garfield Heights. And you can go smack your lips and lick your fingers. Rhonda Stubbs got it going on. And then, two, again, if you own a daycare, check out Rhonda Stubbs, and she'll be more than happy to cater to your young people at a cost, of course, because it is not free. And of course, always, Friday night podcast is brought to you by the re-election team of Mayor Matt Burt of Garfield Heights. Damn it, and I am shaking my pom-poms all day long. But let me show you guys something real quick. I got to lean over. Hold on. This is what I found in the community this week. This is from judicial candidate in song Loving. No, she did not give it to me. I hijacked it. I did. And she had this in the Labor Day parade. And anywho, it's shake your pom-poms, shake your pom-poms, shake your pom-poms. Damn it. I like this. I'm not giving this back. Don't care if her campaign manager called me. Don't care, don't care. I found it and I keeping it. Finders, keepers, lose the weepers, and Brown Oak Cleveland has it. Now, enough of that. Anywho, go ahead. Let's get this thing started because we have a lot to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about before we get into our story about political pimps, press, and messy prostitutes. Damn it, I said it. So do me a favor. I pray that you don't have little people listening to this podcast tonight because it is not for them. This will be traumatic for some and informative for others. And I don't mean for this to be entertaining at all tonight because me, Self, and Kimmy will all be inside the hut. Self, no, not yet. Self wants to get started, but not yet because we have to talk about two things that happened this week in the community. Now, number one, everybody knows who listens to this podcast that I reside in Cleveland Ward 1. I live in Cleveland Ward 1 in the Lee Harvard community. That's just what it is. I love my home. I love my neighborhood. The problem that I have with my neighborhood is that we have parts of Ward 1 that is absolutely nasty, funky, and filthy. And I have pledged to work with the council person to help clean it up, any event who may be elected, because I'm going to be very selective about who I help. And it may sound like I'm being a little contradictory, but it doesn't matter because I am who I am and I'm going to do what I want to do. So let me say this to people who really don't know me. If you see me in the community, like a lawyer did this week, do not ask me who I am going to support because number one, it's not your business at all. It's not your business. But I will say this, I'm not going to support Juanita Brent. So I don't know who I'm going to support. I may vote or may not vote, but at the end of the day, it's my decision, it's my vote, my choice, my voice, and I will not allow anybody to bully me to do whatever they want me to do because I'm not cut from that cloth. And I'm saying it because I believe in being transparent. When you have a podcast and you're holding people accountable, it's only fair that you hold yourself accountable, and I will do as such. So listen, nosy people, do not call me, do not ask me that crazy question. And the other thing is, listen, this dumb don't even live in Cleveland Ward 1, so you should really mind your business because I never seen you in this community doing anything anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that right there. Well, please mind your business. Number two, this is so important. We have the general election that is forthcoming. We do. I know that a lot of people, they are avid supporters of whatever party they so desire. I don't have an issue with that at all. What you do is what you do. Kimberly Brown's going to mind her business. But I will say this, when things don't work out for you, don't complain. Just remember what you did inside the ballot box. Brown on Cleveland. Oh, and number three, I got to go in on Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. I will. The Board of Elections need to change some of their policies regarding candidates who are running for office. I don't have an issue with candidates working for the Board of Elections. What I do have an issue with, I believe that if a candidate resides in a city where they are running, where they have endorsed a candidate, I do not think it is proper for that person to serve in the same building, in the same location where their endorsed candidate is running. So Kimberly Brown, Brown on Cleveland, you know, I will be going down to Cuyahoga County Board of Elections to file a complaint, but more so, hopefully looking to have the board look at a policy amended and do right by the voters within the city of Cleveland. Not just Cleveland, and Cuyahoga County. There you go, Brown, Brown, Brown. Those are my top three, Brown on Cleveland. I'll shake my own pom-poms right now, shaking my pom-poms, shaking my pom-poms. Now, let's get down to the business. And I will keep the chat open. And again, I got stalkers coming, and I will not reply to stalkers under any circumstances. So you don't need to come into my chat because this place is really not for you. Brown on Cleveland. Yes, I said it. So tonight's topic is about power, press, political pimps, and political prostitutes. We will look at the intricate web of influences and corruptions or corruption that occurs within our local communities. The question is tonight, What happens when elected officials use a community tragedy to promote their personal political agenda? Does this cause more trauma for family members? What's the end result? Should elected officials ask family members for permission before they go minding somebody else's business? But more so, is it okay for elected officials to create a false narrative? And I'll answer that myself. Absolutely not. I'll be like Florida Evans of Good Times. Damn, damn, damn. I know damn well you are not doing that. But before we go on, I want to give you guys the definition of the phrase political pimp. I was talking to Self, and Self said, Brown, how can you talk about political pimps if some people don't know what a political pimp is? I said, Self. She says, Brown, do it right. I said, Self, what do you mean? She says, tell these people what it is so they can have a better understanding of when they're being played by the shade. I said, Self. Self said, tell them what it is. So I'm going to follow the rules and the advice of Self. So we are going to school tonight. The phrase political pimp is a derogatory term used to describe a politician or public figure who exploits a community struggle for their own personal or political gain. The phrase roots trace back to the related term poverty pimp, which was originally used back in the 1960s. In both historical and modern contexts, political pimps implies that a public figure will do one of three things, if not all three. Number one, leverage grievances for gains. The person exploits the suffering of a group, such as the minority community or the poor, to secure money, votes, or power for themselves. They fail to deliver meaningful change. While claiming to champion a cause, the individual does not implement substantial or effective policies to address the root problems of the community they claim to represent it. In other words, they play you and they play all of us. They manipulate and sustains the status quo. The practice is seen as problematic because it manipulates the very people it purports to help, benefiting the political actor while maintaining the conditions that cause the community to struggle in the first place. They are political pimps. When we talk about the press, they will do anything to get in front of a camera. And when they get in front of a camera, they'll tell any story they want to tell. Because, see, it's no longer about the tragedy or the struggle of people. Now it's about them. Them being a narcissist, it comes out. And it's very clear. When you talk about the concept of political prostitutes, here's what they do, y'all. They'll find dummies and flunkies in the community, and they will use them until they can't use them anymore. And when things don't work out for them by their flunky, if you try to communicate with them, they shut you down.
And this is little Kimmy. I'm just going to be real with y'all tonight because I know Kim wants to give you this long narrative. I ain't got time for that bullshit. The bottom line is this. There was a meeting held over in Maple Heights regarding gun violence. And it got back to our family that the mayor of y'all city used our family as an example and the tragedy and told lies about what happened that day at Stafford Park. So I'm not going to play with y'all at all. I don't appreciate it. It was hurtful and it was wrong. If you guys are having a forum about gun violence, how in the hell did my family come up? Do you not know the trauma that we have suffered? We have endured? Do you even care? No, so I'm not going to play with y'all, but I'm going to let Self and Brown handle this. Because I'm telling you, it took me every bit not to knock on your door. Because I don't play that shit. I don't play it.
Woo! Woo! Little, I try very hard not to allow little Kimmy to be part of the Little Hut podcast. This is the reason why I don't let her come on. And sometimes she just does what she want to do because that's what little sisters do. Sometimes you can't control them, you can't contain them because in this generation, young people are going to do whatever they want to do. So I'm not going to apologize for what little Kimmy said, but I'm going to explain it so people can understand about what really went down. I'm going to be very transparent tonight. Very transparent. Last night, I hung out with one of my mentees. We went through the community and I'm helping her with her candidate. So we going through the community, no problem. We had a good day, no problem. She brought me back home. She went home to her husband, la, la, la. I get a video. A video was sent to me to my phone. And the person says, Kim, I want you to look at this video. Most times, if somebody sends me a video, I don't even look at it. I just go ahead and delete it. Self, I delete it. Self is asking, why do you delete it? Self, I delete videos because I don't like mess coming to our home. I don't know what people want. I don't know if they're sincere. So self, yes, I delete videos. Self said, stop deleting videos. I will not stop deleting videos. And this is the reason why, self. Okay, so enough for you right now. Enough. So I watched the video. And when I watched the video was about a meeting that they had in the city of Maple Heights. And I know people always say, well, Brown, why do you always talk about that city? Because that city's messy. That city's one step away from the mess that goes on in East Cleveland. It is. And because I have invested so much sweat equity, I have a right to have an understanding about what's going on. And what I do not do, I do not dip in their politics. However, I will respond to their nonsense all day. So when I got the video, again, the video was supposed to be about a meeting about gun violence. So let me tell you guys something that I learned when I got my master's degree in honors. There's a concept called cohortation. If you have a master's degree, you are very familiar with this terminology. It simply means that there are sometimes meetings that are put together not to find a solid resolve or a resolution or solution. They're put together to give community members and investors a feel-good moment. So basically what happens, you bring a bunch of people together and they're played in the shade. People shake their pom-poms and they have all these fake emotions as if they're really concerned about the issues in the community. But in actuality, they're not. It's something that they put together so they can say, we're having conversations about an issue, knowing damn well they don't care about a solution. And if the media show up, this is the time where the actors and actresses, They put on their best performance as if they are auditioning for the color purple. So Sophia's in the house, Mister's in the house, and Ceiley's there too, Brown on Cleveland. So here's what happened. So they're supposed to be talking about gun violence and solutions. But all of a sudden, they have this panel, right? People are talking about the situation that happened at Giant Eagle, because this, from my understanding, is what sparked this meeting. So now the mayor has the microphone, Mayor Ned Blackwell. And you wonder why, everybody in the regions wonder why I don't F with you anymore. I don't mess with you anymore at all. See, because I'm loyal. I don't do that stuff you do, and I have already warned you. She takes the microphone and she decides to talk about the incident that happened at Stafford Park 2 years ago. You know the incident where the brother killed his sister and the unborn baby, and he shot his son in the ear, and he killed his brother-in-law in the park's bathroom. Most people know that I'm transparent, you guys. My family. It's my family. It happened this time of the year. My family hurts. And what I will not do, I will not make an excuse for my cousin's behavior. Because, truth be told, he got what he got and he deserved life in prison. I'll be the first to say it. And that doesn't mean I don't love him. It simply means what he did was absolutely unacceptable. It was the most egregious behavior I've ever seen in this here United States of America. But here's the thing. We all have them in our family. There's not one family out here that does not have a relative in prison because of some egregious behavior, and I am not the only one. I am just the one who will admit it. And it hurts my family to the core, especially during this time, because it happened during Labor Day. Now, here's the issue I have. Self, stop. Tell them what? Oh, I'm getting to the point that she didn't tell the truth. I'm getting there, Self. I'm getting there, Self. I'm getting to the point where she tried to make this thing about her and not about what's going on in that raggedy city. I'm getting there, Self. Self, give me a chance. So I'm listening to this tape, and she says out of her mouth, and while she's snotting and crying, being the best actress ever. Damn, somebody need to give her an Oscar. She talks about how this is an incident she will never forget. She's so traumatized. She talked about how she will never forget the black shiny gun. She talks about how she went and she helped my aunt, and my aunt was saying, Mayor, 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 please help us. That's a damn lie. My aunt didn't even know who you was. And the mayor told Jay the Gospel Kid on his show that my cousin had put the gun in her face and she would never forget the black shiny gun. And before that, she had told me that the young man who was running through the park, before I knew that was my cousin, that he had threatened to kill her too. But lo and behold, when I was in a courtroom, and I'm listening to the testimony, and I'm watching my family members break down, as they should. And I'm watching the other family break down. I'm watching how all these families have been destroyed because of the act of one person. Come on, I ain't the only one who's been through this. In court, they showed the tape, y'all. They showed the video of what happened at the park. I was going to show it to you guys tonight, but I changed my mind. Only because I can't stand to watch it. I watched it last night, and I don't want to hurt anybody by watching it, right? But I'm going to tell you, you can go on YouTube and Google it and look at the trial. Go to 46 minutes and 30 seconds and look at the video that shows what happened at the park. When the shooting took place, the perpetrator, Jason, he did what he did to his sister. His mom followed behind the car. The brother-in-law ran through the park on his phone trying to get help. Jason chased him. The mayor was over by a picnic table. Jason never once looked at her. He never once acknowledged her. At all. At all. At all. At all. He did what he did. Gunshots rang. And he ran. Never once confronted her. Never once acknowledged her. She was nowhere near the car where my other cousin laid, fighting for her life. I don't understand how someone can take such a tragic situation and try to make themselves the main character. She said in the meeting I got on tape that she was just at Stafford Park on Wednesday. And every time she goes to the park, she's so traumatized. Well, let me ask you this. If she's so traumatized, why in the hell I got this? What? Oh, that's my question. Why in the hell, if you're so traumatized, how do you hold monthly music in the park at Stafford Park if you're so traumatized? Because you're not traumatized when you're walking around there campaigning for your candidates. You're not traumatized when you're over there shaking your ass to the music. You're not traumatized when you're over there smacking your lips on them nasty ass hamburgers. How you traumatized? Because if a person was really traumatized, they wouldn't even go to that park at all. They would have moved music in the park from Stafford to Benholt, because that's a nice park too. I'm going to say this to you. You know, I'm so sick and tired of elected officials, activists, wannabe community advocates trying to sound the alarm on community tragedies, knowing damn well that when that media camera is gone, you're not going to be there. See, because I remember when the baby got killed up here in Lee Harvard. It was the Black Women Commission of Cuyahoga County and Kimberly F. Brown who stood with the family, and I'm not going to mention the name, for 4.5 years to get resolved. We championed that situation around Cuyahoga County and got some legislation passed. While some mayors embraced us and other mayors ran from us. And the mayors who embraced us did not look like me. But it's amazing how people will take a tragedy and make it their own. And then when I heard about the Kleenex and the crying, I said, wow. Don't listen. Let me say this to y'all. I don't care whose family y'all play with. Don't play with mine. I keep telling y'all, if you do it in private, I'm going to talk about it in public. This is the cut. If you do it in public and I find out, I'm going to bring it out in public and call you out on your mess, Brown on Cleveland. And you guys don't understand why certain changes must take place. I may not be your favorite. I know I'm not. I could care less. But at the end of the day, if you're a mature individual, if you're really a grown up, you're going to stand on the side of right, no matter who you like. Right is right, wrong is wrong. But let me go on. You never use a tragic situation to make it your own. It'll get back to family members immediately, and it's hurtful. I started to call other members of my family yesterday, but I said no, because I'm not going to hurt them. I'm going to go ahead and handle it. If they watch this podcast, they'll see it. If not, I'm not going to talk about it. But I told a lot of people last night and this morning, do not send me another video. Do not send me another message. Do not send me another text. And your damn show better not send it to my family members, because I will continue to call you out on your nonsense. The lies you tell. The lies you tell. But let's look at something else here. The city of Maple Heights, their mayor is also the safety director. I don't know if you follow my news stories on Newsbreak as a contributor, but there's an article where I am urging residents to demand a competent safety director, because there needs to be someone in the position who is more than qualified to hold that position. There should be a charter change within Maple Heights City Charter. And the next time you guys put together a charter commission to review the city charter, this is one area that they should look at. Because right now, if you go to the city charter, and I know a lot of people don't read the city charter, that's why they don't know how they city operate. This is the reason why they can shake their pom-poms for candidates who are not qualified to hold office, because they really don't know. And I got to stop getting upset with those ignorant people, because sometimes you got to teach them. And as an old head called me the other day as I was shopping at Sam's Club, he says, Kimberly, it's a shame that these people really don't know. And I said to him, I said, then I blame you. He said, why? I said, because as an old head, an old politician, one who served for years and years and years, it is partly your responsibility to teach these people who are holding seats. He says, well, Kim, I have tried. Well, you ain't tried hard enough. He says, but if they don't listen, they're not coachable, then this is the end result that we get. And this is the reason why our communities are a hot ass mess. Brown on Cleveland. But back to the issue at hand. Your mayor is the safety director. I remember when the city of Cleveland, we had Kerry Howard. When the media got on him because he didn't know policies and procedures, in other words, he didn't know half of his job, Kerry Howard was smart enough not to fight the media, because the media rode his ASS. He resigned. It was the right thing to do. If you don't know, then you got to go. And in Maple Heights, it should be the same thing. She don't get a pass at all. So here's what a safety director is supposed to do. Since y'all like to shake y'all pom-poms for wrong, let me give y'all some right, and let me give you some education, right? Let me do that. I had to look this up because I wanted to be accurate. A safety director develops, implements, and manages an organization's safety programs to ensure a safe and healthy work environment and compliance with regulations. Key and duties include conducting risk assessments. Has she done it? No. Leading incident investigations? No. Listen, you guys had your city garage messed up and towed up by one of her friends. How's she going to investigate herself? You residents who are going to city council meeting, you guys are so busy in the back shaking your pom-poms that you missing stuff every single day. Every last one of y'all should be calling for an internal investigation. But you can't do that. You know why? Because you're being politically pimped out. And you don't even understand that you're really a political prostitute. Brown on Cleveland, hell yeah, I said it. They're also responsible for developing safety training, promoting a strong safety culture, enforcing safety policies, and reporting on safety performance to management and regulatory bodies. Strong communication, leadership, and analytical skills are essential for this role. So let me tell you about some key responsibilities real quick. They must develop program development and implementation, develop, update, and implement organizational safety plans, policies, and procedures to align with regulations and best practices. Also, they deal with compliance and risk management. They handle incident management, right? They lead investigations regarding accidents, injuries, near misses to determine root causes and implement corrective actions. How's she going to implement a corrective action on herself? Y'all got work to do. Training and culture. What type of training has been held? City Council, I blame y'all. Because if y'all don't know what the rules are, what the job responsibilities entail, shame on y'all. Reporting and analysis, inspections and audits. Conduct regular safety inspections and audits to identify hazardous conditions and deviations from safety protocol. When you ain't report on that garage, okay. And collaboration. Work with various departments, including operations and human resources, to coordinate and review safety procedures and address safety issues. That's y'all, safety director, right? Let's talk about the requirements. What type of skills should you have? Some people say you should have law enforcement. Some people say, according to Indeed and Zip Recruiters, you should have a BA in urban planning, or you should be a lawyer. When's the last time y'all checked for the credentials? When you look at Maple Heights City Charter, it's very vague. It just says that who's ever the mayor is also the safety director. So why y'all trying to check me on chat? Check yourself for not knowing that. See, again, you can't come for a woman like Brown on Cleveland, Kimberly F. Brown, because you ain't that smart. You're not that smart. And the fact of the matter is this: research matters. What self? Self said, oh, don't forget that common sense matters. What self? Oh, self wanted to be clear. She says, now, Kim, just because somebody has all of the top rated education, that may not make them qualified. I said, self, I will agree and I will disagree, because you got to have the education and you must have some common sense. And then two, you must understand the community or the organization that you are granted to serve. Brown on Cleveland, again, is it okay for elected officials to create a false narrative? Is it okay with you for someone to use the tragedy of a family to create their own narrative? Absolutely not. Here's what I will say. Let me be fair. If that video that I received last night would have said something like this: well, there was an incident at Stafford Park where the brother killed his sister, the unborn baby, shot his son, and killed his brother-in-law. That's a true story, and gun violence is something we have to tackle. But I'm not going to go further with that because, I know it's very hurtful, and I don't want to bring up old emotions. Kimberly Brown would have been fine with that because it is the truth. And it's going down in history. And there's nothing me nor my family can do about it. It happened. I'm so sorry that it happened. Extremely sorry it happened. It brought up a lot of emotions. My eyes are jet red, you see. I couldn't even sleep last night. I stayed up all night because the trauma was so real. So I didn't really get if I was upset with the trauma or if I was more upset because of the lies that are continuously told. Ma'am, it was not about you. It had nothing to do with you. And I will repeat, he didn't put a gun to your face. I will repeat, my aunt never pleaded with you. What my aunt did do, she sent me to Maple Heights council meeting. And she told me to apologize to the council, to the mayor, to the administrators, to the residents about what happened because she felt so bad. And when I went, y'all remember this, I was re-traumatized because the council president, he called that white police chief to have me escorted out because he said that I couldn't speak. However, he allowed that white woman to speak. And I have always been able to speak at Maple Heights council meetings. I don't even know what that was about. I came with a pure heart, and I was bearing gifts that day. So I can't, being traumatized, it's like even hard for me to go to their city council meetings. Because, you start remembering all this stuff that just happened, man. It brings up a lot of emotions. And people were asking me yesterday if I was going to go to that meeting. See how good God is? My mentee came and got me, and I helped her put stuff out for her candidate. And then she went home to her husband. She brought me home, and everything was good. See how God works? God sends vessels and angels to protect you. My mentee protected me yesterday from nonsense. And then Larry Means called me yesterday just to check on me earlier in the day, just to say, hey, sis, how you doing? Are you coming? No, I'm not coming. He said, okay, sis, I'll talk to you later. See how God do? God put things around you to protect you. He did that for me yesterday, his child. And I ain't there yet all of my spirituality, but I know there's a God, right? So listen, y'all, be careful. Be careful about the lies you tell out there because you could take somebody over the edge. And that's just not cool. If you're going to tell a story right. Be correct. A tragic story does not need an and, a but, or an extra what. Just tell the story and leave it alone. And lastly, I did send an email to that news reporter, Channel 19. I did. Her name is Michelle Nix, because I told her I wanted her to correct that story. And of course, she ain't called back. She ain't emailed me back. A good reporter would have done that. If a story is in error, correct it. So I got an issue with her as well. Again, you think I'm lying? I don't have to lie. Go to YouTube. Go to the story of Jason Iverson, the trial, Maple Heights tragedy. Go to 46 minutes. Sit back and watch the tape that came from the city of Maple Heights. My name is Brown on Cleveland. My name is Brown on Cleveland. My name is Brown on Cleveland, right? Kimberly F. Brown, Little Hut Podcast, being totally transparent today. So again, if I can talk about you, right, I damn sure should be able to talk about me. I don't care what y'all think about me. It's the truth, right? Don't care about that because I am who I am. I'm human like everybody else. I have issues going on in my family. I know you have issues going on in yours, but all we can do, y'all, is be the best people that we can possibly be. That's it. But I don't mess with you no more. You've done a whole lot of stuff to me. Brown on Cleveland. I'm going to leave that alone and keep moving on. I say every time I'm on the air, If you talk about me in private, I know I gave you guys a lot to talk about tonight, and I find out I'm going to talk about you in public because that's just simply what I do. Thank you for coming inside the Little Hut podcast. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Thank you so much. My name is Kimberly F. Brown with Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. Always remember that you don't have to be a star baby. You don't have to be a star baby to be on this show. You don't have to be a star baby. But you know what? Y'all know that you got, you gotta be bold. My name is Kimberly Brown. Thank you for coming inside the Little Hut podcast. Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. Have a great night. Bye.